Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing an updated assumptions video. I did this one time in the past where you guys send in assumptions you have about me on Instagram, and my hair is driving me nuts. And I basically answer and say, yes, that's true, yes, that's not true. So nothing further to say. I mean, let's fix this before it really bugs me the whole time. I've got them here. They're all from Instagram, and we're gonna go through these guys, and I'll tell you if what you assume about me is correct. So the first assumption I have here is you like true crime TV and documentaries. That is true to an extent. I cannot watch only that kind of stuff all of the time, but there have been a few that I have enjoyed, and I do like them, just in small doses and nothing too like over the top gory. It just depends. So yes, I do like them, but I know some people that listen to true crime podcasts constantly every day, and I just don't like that. I'll watch a show on Netflix, you know, I'll watch an episode, and then maybe a couple weeks later I'll go back and watch another one. I do enjoy them, but not every single day. So that assumption is correct to an extent. The next one I have here is I have always been a workout person. That assumption is incorrect. Prior to having children, I thought going on the elliptical for 15 minutes was a good workout, but I've always been active. So as a kid, I was very active. As a teenager, I was very active. I taught dance classes for my job, and I've just always been an active person, but I never worked out until, like, really worked out until after I had my kids. So that assumption is incorrect. The next one is I am a very strict parent. I have to laugh because the majority of the assumptions that I got were surrounding parenting. And I was just kind of like, okay, this is different. The last assumptions video, there were a couple of those, but for some reason this was like the most assumed thing, is that I'm a strict parent. Strict is a discretionary word. For some people, I'm probably not strict enough. For others, I'm probably a drill sergeant. So I don't really know how to answer this other than the fact that I do expect my kids to obey when I ask them to do things. And I do expect my kids to have a level of respect for me as their mom and the authority person in their life, and my husband is the same way. So are we strict? We probably are. In today's society, we probably have way more rules than most people do. So that assumption, probably from what you're thinking, yes, that would be correct, although I don't consider myself strict. The next one is I am an OCD cleaner. I would say no. I would say that that's not correct. I am not obsessive about cleaning. I know some people are very, 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 very obsessively about cleaning. They can't handle their kids playing or making a mess or leaving things out. I am fine with all of that, but I just like to have it cleaned up after a certain amount of time. So I feel like that's not obsessive because they can do it, they can have their fun, they can paint, they can do whatever they want to do, but at the end of the day when they're done, let's go ahead and clean that up. You know what I mean? So I try to keep a handle on things, but I'm not constantly under my kids' feet cleaning and like, and that kind of thing where I feel like it makes living in my house like almost like no one wants to live here. It's not that way. So I would say that assumption is incorrect. The next one is I am the disciplinarian laying down that law. Well, I mean, I'm with my kids the most, so I definitely feel like I discipline them the most. My husband does discipline them when he's around as well. It's not just a me thing. My kids respond better to my discipline over my husband's, and I think that's because I am with them all of the time. So I don't know. We both discipline, but I am with them. So I guess I do lay the law down because I am here the most and I have to. Even though I don't want to. I don't like discipline. I actually really hate disciplining my kids. It makes me exhausted. I just don't like it, and I wish that they would do the right thing all the time. The next one says, the next assumption is, even though the Lord called you to homeschool, you never have difficulties financially. Well, this made me pause and think. If you're meaning currently, right now, I'm very thankful that we are not experiencing any financial difficulty right now. But that doesn't mean that that we don't live with making some financial sacrifices, because I do homeschool. So I don't work full time, and my YouTube and this income has never made its way onto our budget line because it is so unreliable, and it's something that I don't ever want to have to depend on. So when people in the past have said, oh, you're a 2-income household, you make money, don't say that you're a 1-income household. Well, we are a 1-income household because that's what we live off of. That's what we have our budget balanced off of, is no money of mine, and mine meaning like from what I earn. So we're not financially struggling, but we also have to live within our means because I do not work. And so the house we bought is a house that is afforded on one salary. The vacations that we plan on taking, those are vacations that we know we can save for off of my husband's salary. So I feel like we're not struggling financially, but the sacrifice is everything takes us longer to save for, where if I wasn't homeschooling and I was working full time, some of the things that take us 6 months to save up for would be saved in 30 days. So it's just, I feel like we make sacrifices so that I do homeschool, that because God called me to homeschool the kids, but right now we're not financially struggling, but we have in the past, but that was largely because we had to learn some really hard lessons when we were young and first married, and the economy crashed and all that good stuff. The next assumption is, so I would say that assumption is partially correct. The next one is, I am extremely confident. Yes, I am a very confident person, and I am thankful that I am. I've had a lot of people tear me down or try to tear me down throughout my whole life and tell me things about me that are untrue, and it's really just made me very confident in who I am. So I would say yes, that is true. The next assumption is I don't have anxiety. That is not true. I do struggle with anxiety. There have been periods of time in life where it's been worse than others, and certain situations bring it out, but I do have to always be aware of my anxious tendencies. So I would say that one is incorrect. The next assumption is you are very loyal and a trustworthy friend, but you tell it like it is and are upfront. You are right. That is 100%. I am loyal to the people I love to a fault. And I also am very, very honest. So people that know me and know my heart can hear my honesty and not be offended. Some other people might be offended, so I've learned like to not always say what, like even if I'm asked, sometimes I just hold back because I am very honest and it comes out very blunt, like you said. So I would say yes. That is true. The next assumption is you teach a Sunday school or women's class at my church. Oh, back when we could gather at church. That assumption is correct. I teach children's ministry there. The next assumption that we have here is you don't take any crap from your kids, strict but loving. They mean it as a good thing. Yes, that assumption is correct. I do not tolerate disrespect. That doesn't mean that my kids don't give it to me, because they do. But I just feel like it's so important to teach our kids how to speak to people, and disrespect and attitude and eye rolling and all that. Respecting authority is something that our society lacks completely. And so yeah, I don't tolerate any of that nonsense, and my kids know it. That doesn't mean that they don't do it though, they do, but they get things taken away, loss of privileges. You know, I gotta pick what bothers that child specifically and roll with it. So I would say that that one is correct. The next one is, you are politically conservative. Yes, that assumption is correct. The next one, you never go to bed with a messy house. Yes, that is correct. I cannot go to bed with a messy house. The next one is, you are more conservative than I let on to be. I like that one. That's a true assumption. I am very, very, very conservative. And it's not because, like, politically, I mean, I do tend to the majority of the time fall on the conservative side of things politically, but more importantly, I feel as though I'm labeled very conservative because the Bible is God's word, and so whatever aligns mostly with the Lord's word is where I go. And I feel like in today's day and time, God's word is considered very conservative. The next one is, I am a drill sergeant in my home. You guys see what I mean about the parenting stuff? No, I am not a drill sergeant. She specifically said not in a bad way. No, I'm not a drill sergeant. I actually 9 times out of 10 speak to my kids in a very calm and normal tone, and I do yell when I lose my cool, but I'm not like a drill sergeant in any kind of way. The next one is, your house is always clean and tidy. How? I would say probably so. Everyone would consider my house clean and tidy, and that's just because I keep up with it. I really try not to let things go like completely to the wayside. And I'll do whatever it takes to have to, you know, to keep up with that, because I've got 4 dogs and 4 kids, and I just can't handle it. Everybody's happier when my house is not in disarray. The next one is, my house is always clean. Not perfectly, but livable. Yes, that assumption is correct. The next assumption is, you are a tough girl but have scars from my parents that have altered how I parent. That assumption is 1000% correct. The next one is, you have a video, Instagram, phone call voice. My husband does too. Not a put down. I don't know what that means. The next one is, your kids will ask you to homeschool their children. Actually, my son says he's going to homeschool his kids and his wife will work. The next assumption is, it's easy for me to work out. You don't struggle with it. I have a home gym and I rarely use it. That's not true. I struggle sometimes with the motivation to get it done, but I know that I always am better off once it's done, and then I don't have to deal with the guilt of not doing it. So the discipline of living this way for quite a few years has made it easier for me to do that. The next one is, you have a daily schedule and stick to it. Housework, schoolwork, errands, etc. I would say yes, I have a general schedule for my day. The next one is, when you love something or someone, you love them hard. Yes, that is true. The next assumption is, you make me time a priority for myself. That is not true. I'm not very good at that. The next assumption is, you make the best side dishes when it comes to potlucks and gatherings. Probably not. I'm usually pretty simple with like a salad or fruit. The next assumption is, you're an entertaining and favorite person to be around at parties. I don't know, ask my friends. The next one is, you're an all-out planner and not just take a day by it comes type of person. True, that assumption is correct. You are not one to tolerate tantrums. There's the parenting thing again. True. I do not deal well with tantrums. The next one is, me and my husband make a lot of money. Again, that's relative. I'm very grateful for the income that we have, but we are not rolling in the dough, and we very much have every dollar accounted for in our life that comes into our home. The next way, we also, neither one of us came from money. So everything that we have, we've worked hard for and God has blessed us with. The next one is, you're an Enneagram 1 or a 3. I don't remember. I only did the test once and I don't keep up with that. The next one is, your love language is quality time. True. The next one is, you have everything under control and my house smells really good. I wish I had everything under control. I try to have everything under control, and that is not the way of the Lord. And so it backfires on me. My house smells really good. I do love a good candle. So I would say yes, that is true. The next one is, I have a lot of close girlfriends. No, I just have a handful of close girlfriends. The next assumption is, you never get fast food. Unless it's Chick-fil-A, that assumption is correct. Then this one is, none of my kids have cavities. That assumption is correct. No cavities here. The next one is, you're extremely conservative. Yes, that's true. The next one is, you are a really good friend to people. Yes, I think so. The next one is, you have a difficult time just relaxing. At home, yes. But like when I'm out and that's the intention, camping, on vacation, no, I'm very good at relaxing there. The next one is, you are in charge of your finances and what you say goes. No, my husband and I do the finances together. I'm the one who clicks pay on the bills because I'm here. My battery died. But this one was basically saying that I am in charge of the finances and what I say goes. We do it together, but I am the one who manually clicks pay on things. The next one is, you have it all together, as in life. I think when people ask me this or assume this, it used to kind of make me feel like bad to say like, yeah, I have a decent handle on things. And then I started following this Instagram account. It's M is for Mama. She is about to have like 10 kids or something, I think 10. And anyway, she wrote this post because she's very productive and people ask her, she has like almost 3 times as many kids as I do, how she does it all and all that kind of stuff. And she said like, and it stuck with me. She said, you know, I'm not gonna say that I live in disarray because that would be a lie. And I'm also not gonna say that like I don't have a decent handle on my life because that would be kind of like false humility. And I was like, ooh, like that stuck with me because I've been programmed to kind of like diminish that part of me because people take it like I think that I've got it all together and this and that and the other thing, and they think bad about you if you say like, yeah, I don't live, it's not a circus here all the time. That's not to say that there's not chaotic days or days where I forget stuff, but in general, yes, I do have a decent handle on my life. And so this is like the first time I am not giving you guys a false sense of humility and saying like, oh no, not all the time. Some days are crazy. Some days are crazy, don't get me wrong, but I do have a decent handle on my responsibilities just because I work really hard at it. So I would say, from what you mean, like I have it all together, I think you mean like how I run my house, yes, but that I am in no way perfect and I don't have a perfect life. So the next one is from my friend, and she's funny because she said, you love Donald Trump. Yes, I do. I do love the Donald. The next question is, you plan the spacing of my kids super close together. I did not plan that. The Lord did. The next assumption is, you have bad days just like the rest of us. That is 100% true. The next question is, or the next assumption is, you are always on time and slightly OCD. No, I'm actually not always on time. I'm never horribly late, and I'll let somebody know if I'm gonna be about 10 to 15 minutes late to something. I'm never like an hour late, but sometimes a few minutes get away from me. Slightly OCD, probably. The next one is my kids are very well behaved. I would say yes, they are. That assumption is true, but they are still kids. And that is going to be the end of this updated assumptions video. Let me know if you have any more assumptions about me down in the comments, unless it's about being a strict parent, because I think I answered that one about 5 times. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just a lighthearted, fun one, and I love getting to do these because I like to see how well you guys really know me. Am I translating who I really am through my social media? And it's insightful. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video really soon. Bye guys.